So when we talk about a segregated community, we're talking about a community that's segregated from opportunity.
We live in a country where your zip code is an identifying factor for the potential that you have to achieve and succeed.
The whole idea of saying that I can go after the American dream, that all you have to do is just give me the opportunity. Well, how do you get the opportunity? When you wanted to get a mortgage, the bank would give you a short-term balloon loan, which would have to be paid off in 5 years and would probably be for only 50%. So when the FHA comes along and says, we'll loan people 95% of the money, guarantee it to the bank, and give you 30 years to pay it back, that is a tremendous resource. That changes everything.
Where it made home ownership available, but it was mainly for whites. And now that's sometimes shocking to Americans, like, no, that couldn't be the case. But remember, this is the 1930s and 40s. Jim Crow laws were rampant in America.
When the Federal Housing Administration was formed in 1934, their underwriting manual, which was their policy guide, indicated very clearly that our neighborhoods are to stay homogeneous, meaning that white neighborhoods stayed white, black neighborhoods stayed black.
What the FHA did at the time was took a red marker and marked areas that they were willing to insure a mortgage loan.
And this became known as redlining. And the government helped create maps and helped banks create an appraisal system. It encouraged banks and other lenders to not loan monies where blacks were present or where blacks and whites were present together.
So here you have the real estate industry and the federal government working hand in hand to create the ghetto.
The real estate industry worked to write racially restrictive covenants that said that the real estate, the home, the land, could only be sold to a white family if it was occupied by a white family.
The home that my aunt and uncle live in had in their deed is indicated that no Negro shall live in that house.
So the key to the segregation of Detroit, in the same way, is the key to the segregation of Chicago and New York and Philadelphia and Cleveland and Boston, is that the forces of the real estate marketplace took that rising tide of racism and they institutionalized it.
Why is there a different set of rules in different places? We don't have a transportation system, for example, here in Southeast Michigan that connects you to anything. You cannot get from downtown Detroit to the airport unless you have a car. And 40% of residents of the city of Detroit don't have a car. So how do you connect those people to opportunities?
The big question you gotta ask yourself is, so you create all this system, that's ancient history. It's all illegal, it's all been eliminated. So why do we still have segregation? Once you link together race and the marketplace, it's really, really hard to pull it apart. That's why you get white flight. That's why you get the maintenance of segregation.
We can sort of see the sort of sins of the past and our mistakes of the past. It's harder to see what we're doing now. And what we're doing now is hiding in plain sight. Think about the recent housing crisis, the subprime loan that started really in the black and Latino community and then spread throughout the country. Those communities have been starved for credit, starved for insurance, starved for new development for 30, 40 years. As more credit came into the world, it was directed to those communities, but it was at a higher price. And 50% of those loans should have been market rate loans. They should not have been subprime loans, which made them less affordable. And so the whole credit system itself has created a new wall.
One response to this segregation is to respond through the legal system, the same system that supported it for so long. We have found through our investigations and work, mortgage companies, banks in particular, have been denying credit in a uniform way in the modern era today to qualified applicants.